Welcome back. I hope you are getting really excited about your journey in data and getting started with BigQuery. We're going to wrap up this introductory model looking into a little bit more of what is BigQuery, what is a query, and getting into a little bit more of the technical side of things. Keeping track of where we are in our outline, you have already completed videos 1 and 2, which reviews a little bit about Couch to Coders and our company, what a career and data looks like. In this video, we're going to go into the technical side of things. We're going to look at what is statistical coding, what is it that we're trying to do, and we'll also review what our course structure is. The next thing we'll talk about is what are coding languages. Coding is speaking with your computer. That's why it's called a language. When I first started learning, I didn't really think of it like that, but that's exactly what it is. That's why it's called a language. So I am trying to format what I want in my mind and tell it to my computer so that it can return the information that I want. So there are a lot of different conversations that you can have with your computer. You could ask it to automate a task. Maybe you want your computer to go in and go through your emails and automatically delete certain ones. That's computer programming. You could create fun websites. You could develop an app. I think this is what most people think of when you say you're a programmer. You could prepare data sets. So preparing is getting them in the right format, the right shape, have everything cleaned up so it's nice and tidy to be used for analysis. And then you can use that data that's been prepared for actual business insights. And that's a lot of the analytics part in data analytics. So what we'll be learning here at Couch to Coders, we're going to zero in on number 4 and 5, preparing your data and using the data for business insights. So in a career in data analytics, really what you're doing is what I call statistical computer programming. So my husband will say, oh, my wife, she is a computer coder. And people think that I am like, hacking into things and doing stuff with cryptocurrency. No, not really. I probably could do that if I invested the time. But what I really do is preparing data sets and analyzing them and seeing what can I use from this to help the business be more successful. So what we'll focus on here at Couch to Coders is really the statistical coding, which is coding used for analysis. So why BigQuery? If I could go back in time to when I was first getting into the industry, I would have chosen to learn a SQL-based language. Why is that? Well, it's the most fundamental skill needed to get into data analytics is number 1. Any of your major companies that are working with large-scale data are going to use some form of a query-based language. So just a fun fact, any coding language that has a Q or a QL in it is going to be some form of a query language. So some examples. You could have BQ for BigQuery, SQL, YQL, PTQL, JAQL. Any of these query-based languages are going to be very similar. So if you see a job ad and it says, I want you to know SQL, and you're like, oh, I only know BQ because that's the only thing that the Couch to Coders did. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. There's a couple nuances, but anyone in the industry knows if you know that, you know them all. The reason why I selected BigQuery over other SQL-based options is that it's really easy to set up. So when I was first getting started, I was really intimidated by all of the things that you need to download and do this and do that just so that you can get started, and it felt impossible. BigQuery is so easy to get started. You just need a Gmail account, which a lot of people already have. The next thing is that it's free for people to use, and I love that. A lot of your SQL-based applications that are easy to install end up you have to pay for it. So either you're paying with it with your time or you're paying it with your money. BigQuery, free and easy to use. Love it. Big benefit BigQuery has over other SQL-based programs is that it has real data sets for you to use and practice on. With BigQuery, they have real data sets. They're a little messy. You got to clean it up. You're working with big things. So when the time comes for you to translate that into a job, you feel a lot more equipped and prepared versus working on the toy data sets. And then the last big thing with BigQuery is that once you understand a query-based language, you're going to understand everything you need to know about tables, rows, columns, data types, this, that. It's a really easy introduction that allows you to get a strong foundation, and then you can learn your more fancy coding languages like Python or R. Now that I've sold you on how great BigQuery is, you might be wondering, like, what exactly is it and why are you so excited? Let me tell you. BigQuery is a query-based coding language that is powered by Google. A query is a set of commands that you ask the tool, BigQuery, to complete on a table. A big advantage of this is that you can save your code and you can automate it. So I like to always tie things to something a little bit more concrete. Living in abstract is not where I learn best. So quick example. Suppose you have an Excel sheet and every time you download it from somewhere, you sum up a particular column. Every time I download the Excel sheet, I have to go in, type in my function for sum, and then I have to do my formatting, whatever else that I want. If I were to do that in the tool BigQuery, I could write up my code one time and then I'm done. I don't ever have to write those functions again. I can use it as many times as I want. Another example, let's just say you have an emailing list and you have to go somewhere and you download all of your customers' information. And it has their first name and their last name, then their email. And before you email them, you always combine the first and last name. So you say, hello, Candace, so-and-so. Okay. In Excel, every time I download it, again, I have to go through and manually do it. If I did this in BigQuery, I do it one time and I'm done. Saves you a lot of time. It makes it a lot easier. So write query one time, you can use it forever. So let's wrap up this call by talking a little bit about how this course is structured. Our videos are broken up into small, easy to process topics. All of our videos are under 15 minutes, and this is something that was really important to me. I've done a lot of online learning, and anything over 15 minutes, I start getting bored and distracted. Throughout our course, we're going to do live demo examples. Those are ones where I will show you how to do it. I will give you examples for you to try on your own, and then we'll go through the solutions together. We also offer dollar downloads if you want to purchase additional practice examples, solutions, cheat sheets, if you want copies of the PowerPoints. We offer all of those types of things, and they're very affordable. Our course is broken up into 3 sections. First, we're going to spend some time building fundamentals in data, and this is purely concept-based. You're going to feel a little underwhelmed. You're going to want to be getting into the tool and coding, and I understand that desire, but if I were to just show you how to code from the beginning and you don't have those fundamentals down, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're probably not going to stick with the course. So we really do need to take a little bit of time to understand the basics before we can get right into the coding. After we're done with our fundamentals, we're going to transition into constructing our basic queries. And so that will be a combination of concepts plus examples. And the last leg of the course is that we're going to do advanced queries. So let's summarize all the things that we did in this introductory module. We talked about how Couch to Coders is accessible, both financially and intellectually. Your path into data might not be linear. It might have a couple twists and turns like mine did, and that's totally okay. This course will teach you statistical coding that is used to prepare you to become a data analyst. We will be using a SQL-based coding language called BigQuery. And BigQuery is a free software powered by Google. So with that, you have completed your first day in this 30-day Kickstarter. Congratulations, I'm so excited for you. And next time we'll be getting into some more of the data and building some of those fundamental basics that we need. Bye, see you next time. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I would be so appreciative if you could like the video and subscribe to help me create more content for you. Thank you.